Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crossover. Starring Josh Johnson and Chris McGill. Featuring Christina Thorson. And of course, you, the Instagram live chat. Now, sit back and enjoy this week's edition of The Crossover. Powered by Card Ladder.
We good?
Sure.
What do you mean?
I just am not going to switch phones again. Your screen is black. I don't care anymore. This is our sign.
Yeah, maybe we'll be over on YouTube.
I can see the chat, so I'm
go.
just like, I'm not getting up.
Okay. Yeah, it's your call.
It's fun.
Okay.
I restarted my phone. I uninstalled the app. And it was just like, it's such a joke. Zuckerberg is a moron.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody to The Crossover. Today is Friday, April 18th, and we're going to have a lot of fun talking NBA. I don't know if The Crossover is actually ever lined up perfectly like this where it comes the eve of round one.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a bazillion NBA questions. I'm in a new location, in a different room tonight, so Christina is in the office with me. Many people have been asking for the return of Christina. Say hello, Christina. She's taking a vow of silence. This may force her to speak. Are there any Card Ladder related announcements?
No.
Christina, I can't hear you. The light is bright. Oh, no, she says. Packed that slaps is Christina. Welcome back. Oh, that got a little giggle noise. Okay. No mail days on this side. How about on your side?
Nope.
Then that's just going to give us plenty of time to jump right into the questions. So, first up, from mostly 90s basketball cards, let's lock in some predictions. How about conference finalists, finals matchup, and even a champion?
I like straight to it.
Yeah, I like the spirit of this question, but I'm going to take it in a little bit of a different direction for us. How about we just quickly run through the 8 series?
Yep, I'm pulling it up as well.
Yeah, I've got the odds available here. We'll start in the East. The boring conference. You got Knicks hosting Pistons, and the Knicks are minus 420. Do you have any reason to go against that line?
No, but I am excited to watch the Pistons. You know, they haven't been in the playoffs in a long time. Cade Cunningham emerging, Jalen Duren. I'm excited to watch them. I mean, they're never on TV, so I don't get to watch them.
Yeah, that'll be a fun series. But the Knicks being huge favorites, no reason to predict against that.
Yeah.
Next series is much closer. Indiana hosting Milwaukee. Indiana's minus 164. That's pretty close.
Yeah. This one kind of depends on how you feel about Lillard coming back and when he comes back.
How do you feel about that?
I think I was hearing like he's not playing game 1, but that's the only thing they've ruled him out of. So it could be game 2, maybe game 3 when they get back home.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean, that would be huge, dude. He's like one of the top players in the NBA.
Yeah, he is. And he had a nice BPM season, too. I think he was around top 20 or top 25.
I feel like the Pacers, though, in that series, I think you might be picking the Bucks, which is a zag from your Pacer love, but I still like the Pacers.
Yeah. So the implied odds of a minus 164 line are 62%. So the sports book here is saying the Pacers are 62%, Milwaukee 38. That's not a coin toss, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
I think Giannis is just going to be roaring in these playoffs, and I think the Bucks ended the season winning 8 straight games. He's just cooking right now with 3 perimeter shooter defenders, Brook Lopez as a rim protector and shooter, and then him just going nuts. I don't know if he can keep it up that level that usage rate for a whole playoffs, but I think he's going to be a really tough out in round one. But I will be rooting, I think, for the Pacers, and I think the Pacers present big matchup problems for Boston, and I would love. I mean, there's no point, like, guys on TV, like, they pretend that they're just objective and they don't have rooting interests, and a lot of the times their opinions just end up smuggling in their biases through the veneer of making an objective analysis. I'm not going to do that. I will be rooting against the Celtics. Love all of our Celtics listeners and Tatum collectors and everything. A lot of you guys are awesome, but my rooting interests don't align with yours.
They're on the other side.
I will be rooting Pacers.
They're on the other side of the bracket, though.
Well, eventually they're going to get there.
You think they're going to beat the Bucks and the Cavs?
Yeah, that's a tough. That's what I'm saying. I don't even think. I mean, my brain tells me Milwaukee's going to win that series.
Yeah.
But my brain also tells me if Indiana and Boston played, I like Indiana, so I'm rooting for them to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, next series, Boston, Orlando. I just want you to guess what Boston's odds are.
To win the series? Like minus 2,000 or something?
Yeah, minus 8,000.
8,000. Oh my God.
What do you think about this series?
Minus 8,000. I mean, that seems really high, but like Celtics are going to win the series.
Yeah, the implied odds there, 99%.
Yeah, I mean, that seems insane. Like, but you might as well just like bet on the sweep if you want some value, I guess, if you're a Celtics fan.
Yeah, well, or if you're not a Celtics fan, you can throw 100. The Orlando's plus 2,200, so you can throw down $100 and get 2,300 back if you're feeling frisky. Orlando, like in games where starters played, they split the season series 1-1. So I don't know. I'm interested. I wouldn't pick against Boston, but I'm interested to see how that series goes.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Cleveland and Miami.
Yep.
Thoughts?
I mean, this should be quick as well. Miami, they're 37-45. They had a nice little run here in these last two road games to sneak in, but they're not beating the Cavs.
Right. They're not. Miami did look good in these two playing games, but so maybe they can take a game or two off of Cleveland. Cleveland's minus 2,500. No need to go against that line. I think that says it all. I do think that for all the people who are like giving OKC all this lip service about 68 wins, great net rating, one of the greatest net ratings. Cleveland isn't that far behind. They were a solid second place in win total and in net rating. Like, they had a net rating of around plus 10. That's also one of the best net ratings of all time. And what, they won like 64 games or 65? 64. That's also one of the greatest seasons. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that Phoenix won 64 games, and they were like they were heralded. Granted, Cleveland gets to play in the East, so they get to play 52 games against the East and only 30 against the West, and it's vice versa for the teams in the West. But most of OKC's record comes from the fact that it's 29-1 against the East. They weren't nearly as good against the West. So
yeah, the OKC padded their differential, the plus 12.9, which is the best in NBA history. They padded that with their bench being really solid against the weaker teams and just running up the score.
Yeah, and the differential thing needs a little bit of context, just because if you're beating teams like 125 to 112 on average, the gap relative to the total points scored is smaller than if you're beating teams 105 to 90. So we need to, if we really want to get into the weeds of it, we should be era adjusting point differential, and we should also be doing per possession. But that, who cares? I mean, there's no taking away the fact that OKC and Cleveland, but not to the same extent, were historically great regular season teams. All right, let's go to the West. In the West, let's start with OKC and Memphis. We have a line, OKC minus 4,000.
This is the one where I want to get real salty.
Go.
Real Make those OKC fans nervous. I think Memphis is good, man. They're like one of my favorite teams in the
Well,
playoffs. I don't know. I like their balance. I like Edie. They've got size. They've got youth. They've got a strong like top three in my opinion. With Bane, Triple J, and Morant. They've got 5 players in the top 54 of BPM. OKC only has 3. They've got good role players. Scottie Pippen. I just like their team. They were the number 2 seed like all year long. They just had a rough stretch, then strangely fired their coach, which to me makes no sense right now.
right. Yeah, I mean, they were 4 games out of the 2 seed, I think.
They are 4 games out of the 2 seed. They have the same record for all intents and purposes as like all these other
Right.
teams. They just happen to have slipped at the end and fell into the play-in. But I think they're solid. I'll tell you
Yeah,
what,
I think there's.
the Cavs getting the Heat 37 and 45 and the Thunder having to play the Grizzlies is a huge difference.
Yeah, what if it was Memphis and Cleveland?
I would just like outright pick Memphis.
Dude, you kind of want to take them right now. I'm getting the sense.
No, there's no way that I don't know. I just like their team. Like watching this game, I thought they outplayed the Warriors. I thought the Warriors just got a shit ton of free throws. That's my opinion on that game.
Well,
I thought they played
gathered
better.
from listening to a few podcasts about the Grizzlies because I haven't watched many of their games, is that the new coach is like featuring Edie way more. That might have even been a source of contention. So
Why is that contention?
I
Oh,
think
because
the old coach didn't like him.
and the front office wanted them to play him more.
Maybe.
Dude, he was like destroying the Warriors on the boards, and he had a bunch of offensive rebounds tonight too. I think he's good.
Yeah, he had 7 offensive rebounds against Golden State. I'll say this. This is going to sound more shocking than it actually is if you think about it. If you could promise me that Zach Edey would get 7 offensive rebounds in every game against Oklahoma City, I would pick Memphis to beat Oklahoma City.
He had 6 tonight.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I watched the whole game tonight, and I was like, these Grizzlies are good. I know the Mavs kind of suck, but they fucking killed them tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, I mean, they had a really impressive performance against Golden State on the road too.
And then Dallas was making a little bit of a run, not really, but like kind of making it close. And then Jaren Jackson scored 10 points in like 1 minute. It was crazy. He just like he can shoot, man. And he can shoot the 3. He can score around the basket. Bane is really solid. I just like Aldama is like top 50 in BPM. Aldama's low key really good.
Yes, he is.
I
He's
like
from Spain
Konchar.
too.
I just like their team.
Yeah, I like their team too. And they would be even scarier if Brandon Clark and Wells weren't injured.
And Luke Kennard, I think, leads the NBA in 3-point percentage.
Yeah, he's good.
They're kind of like loaded if you look at them.
Yeah, they got a little squad.
Like Morant is like their weakest link, like with his volume and the way he plays. It's not
Like
their weak
relative
link.
to like how good is their number 1 guy versus other number 1 guys? How good is their number 2 guy versus other number 2 guys? Like they're definitely weakest at the number 1 spot.
Yeah, I think so. Like Shea has a huge advantage over Morant, but
Big time.
I like the depth. What do you
All
think?
right.
You think that's crazy?
No, I think it's if I want to be nice to OKC, I agree with you. I think they got a raw deal here.
Yeah.
Having to like last year, they as the 1 seed, they got to play the Pelicans with when the Pelicans' best player got hurt right before when Zion Williamson got hurt in the playing game. So last year they got a really easy path in round 1. This is the opposite. This is literally a team that could very easily be the 2 seed, and they have to play them as the 8 seed in the first round.
Yeah, I just like when I squint, I just don't see a difference between the Grizzlies and the Rockets, and it's the 2 seed and the 8 seed.
Yep, all those teams are bunched in there, dude.
Like they're all kind of the same.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move on to another series. Let's go. We have 3 left. All right, Houston hosting Golden State. Houston is actually plus 146, or Golden State, the road team, is favored minus 174.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What do you say about this one?
This is the one, other than the Lakers series, that I'm the most excited to watch. I really want to see how the contrast in the youth of the Rockets versus the experience of the Warriors. I'm very interested to watch this series and how the Rockets plan to defend Curry and Butler, and there's just a lot of cool storylines. And I'm excited to watch Amen Thompson.
Yeah. I think the Rockets need to win their first 2 home games.
Yep.
You know, if this thing goes back to Golden State 1-1, I think it's already over. The implied odds for Golden State at minus 174 is 64%. So again, not a coin toss, but not a slam dunk.
Here's an interesting stat. Golden State has the exact same record home and away this year. They don't have the home court advantage anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah. They're the same exact record, 24-17, home and road.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Jimmy Butler fan, so won't hurt my feelings if Golden State advances.
If you're on the like LeBron, Luka, Laker thing, I can't have you rooting for the Warriors. This isn't gonna work.
Well, here's the thing. That's going to short circuit next round anyway,
Yeah.
because whoever wins this series goes up against the Lakers, which is why I want to ask, who do we prefer to face?
Oh, who do we prefer to face? The Warriors. Fuck those guys. Let's take them down.
You just want to you want to be able to savor defeating them.
Yeah, like LeBron knocking Curry out of the play-in tournament and the playoffs 2 years ago is always satisfying.
Yeah, I am on Houston, I think, to narrowly win this series, personally.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that Golden State has a huge problem when they play Draymond at the 5, which is that they struggle to rebound.
Yep.
And Houston is the best offensive rebounding team this season, and they might be one of the best offensive rebounding teams of all time. Great video by Ben Taylor on YouTube Thinking Basketball channel about Steven Adams' offensive rebounding this year. So Thompson, Adams, Sengun, these guys all just crash the boards. They are a bad matchup for Golden State. I think Golden State, their experience, their talent, their pedigree should prevail here, but I like the Rockets on a matchup level. I won't be surprised if it goes either way.
Yeah. Bill was talking about he wouldn't be surprised by any outcome, sweep either way. I kind of agreed with that. I don't agree with much of what he says, but I could see this going anyway.
Yeah. All I know is Houston better win. They better clean up in the first 2 games if they want to have a chance.
I think they're fine. Golden State's not that good at home.
Yeah. Yeah. But still.
Yeah, for the narrative of we're the underdogs, the Warriors going back home, and they've got all the experience. But they need to win.
Right. I would rather face the Rockets in the second round because I think that'd be much easier. But yeah, it's okay. Bring on the challenge. I mean, we need to be well rested for whoever that we face in the conference finals.
Yeah, let's rip their hearts out. The Warriors. It's more enjoyable. Trust me.
I love that. I do. It's not nearly as fun going to the playoffs scared of all these guys and just hoping you get this easy path. Let's go in there and let's violently rage.
You need the revenge from the 2020. What is that? 2 Warriors conference finals loss. You need revenge.
Yep. Warriors beat the Nuggets and the Mavericks that year.
Yeah.
All right. Second to last series is Denver hosting LA. The Clippers. The Clippers are minus 118 as the road team.
Which has shifted.
It has shifted. It started off the initial line was Denver, and then money came in and it moved it to Clippers.
This is going to be a good series as well.
Yeah, the implied odds of minus 118 are 54%. This is a coin flip.
Yeah, this one feels like it's Jokic versus a really good Clippers team.
Yeah.
That's healthy at the right time.
Yep. I mean, obviously, the longer the playoffs go, the more chances you have for Kawhi's knee to cave in.
Yeah.
So it's a tough draw getting them first. And if the Nuggets do take care of the Clippers, I think they kind of do the whole West a favor by getting them out. I definitely see a path where Denver beats the Clippers in a long series, and they either beat OKC or lose to OKC in a long series, and then whoever has to go against the Lakers in the conference finals might be coming off of some brutal matchups.
Yeah, the Nuggets have the hardest path in the whole playoff bracket, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think their title odds are? So for example, Oklahoma City's odds are plus 180. Boston's plus 185.
To make the
LA Lakers
finals?
plus 1500.
To make the finals or to win?
No, to win.
Plus 180 to win the championship for the Thunder? That's crazy. Dude,
What do you think Denver's odds are?
Thunder should be like plus 400. That's insane. What do I think Denver's like plus, what'd you say the Lakers were? 1500?
Yeah.
So then like plus 5,000 or something?
Yeah, plus 3,800.
Yeah. Plus 180, dude. That's the worst bet I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Dude, they have one playoff round. Looking through this bracket, we only have one round, but I'll just say now, this is like a wide open field, man. I could see a lot of these teams going to the finals.
Yeah, I think it is too. All right, that's a real coin flip one, I think.
Yeah.
But injuries might play a big role in that one too. To Murray, to Kawhi, they could really matter on a number of levels.
Right.
All right, and then the final series is Lakers hosting Minnesota. Lakers are minus 186.
Yeah, everyone I've heard has been picking the Timberwolves.
Do you have a list?
I have a list. I'll share it after the series is over,
Nice.
including Magic effing Johnson. What a baby. He's like, I'm worried. Anthony Edwards is a matchup problem. Get out of here.
For the Timberwolves.
Yeah, the Lakers pose way more problems.
Yeah, the implied odds of minus 186 or 65%.
Yeah.
So, again, pretty close.
They play tomorrow night, and I think they don't play again until Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's good.
I got the Lakers in 5.
Yeah, I just lean that way too. Very short series. I think that will be good series for JJ Redick to get his feet wet.
Yeah, I feel like people keep talking about like Edwards, LeBron. I just haven't heard enough about how Luka like kind of just like beat the shit out of his team like really recently.
Yeah. Everybody
And
just forgets that conference finals happened last year.
And he's got a similar-ish roster construction. I said this to you yesterday. I mean, they don't have the bigs that the Mavs had, but plus LeBron. And just like, I don't know. It seems like it's an improvement.
They don't have the bigs, but they have much better shooting. And LeBron is a huge upgrade over Kyrie.
Did you see P.J. Washington turn into a pumpkin without Luka spoon-feeding him corner threes?
Oh, yeah. P.J. Washington, Luka Emergent confirmed.
That's a good one, Luka Merchant. People don't talk about that kind of stuff enough. He doesn't do jack shit. He just stands in the corner.
Oh, you know who was a full participant in practice for the Lakers this week?
Oh, I did see this. I saw him spotting up from the corner. Speaking of guys who stand in the corner.
Maxi Kleber.
Is he cleared to play?
Dude, I think they're like actually planning on him being the backup center to Hayes.
Well, because they announced that Koloko and Jemison are not going to be on the roster.
Right, exactly.
They need the roster spot for Kleber. Dude, that'd be so fun.
Oh, it's like if he like
the trilogy
has a
was complete.
game. Yeah. Oh, maybe that neon green will finally come out if he has like a 7 3-pointer game like he did against Utah that one year.
I haven't heard a single media outlet talk about his comeback, except I did see it on Twitter.
Yeah. All right. Okay, now let's do you want to pick the final 4 and then the final 2 in the chain?
This is so hard because it is just so open, you know?
Yeah, very open.
We're just going to like rapid fire make picks and just shoot from the hip?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. You want me to just rattle them off?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to go Thunder, Nuggets, Lakers, Warriors. You want me to go East now?
Yeah.
Cavs, Pacers, Knicks, Celtics.
Okay. And then, that's the final. That's the Elite 8. Now do the final 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick the Thunder.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna pick the. Okay, so I'm gonna go Thunder, Lakers. Then I'm gonna go Pacers, Celtics rematch.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
I don't honestly. To be honest with you, I don't know much about the Cavs. I haven't watched them, so like Cavs people are gonna be upset at me. They haven't been on TV. I just haven't watched them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a shitty cop out. So then there you go. There's Final Four.
Nice. And then final two.
We're going Lakers, and we're
Celtics.
going Celtics. I just gotta have it.
And then just Bill Simmons gets crushed.
Or he's just gonna be like sweaty as hell for 2 weeks of the finals.
Him and his dad are just going to be flying in.
Yeah.
All right, my final four is going to be Nuggets, Lakers, Cavs, Celtics. The Celtics, man, they really got an easy bracket, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then
Cakewalk.
and then we'll go Cavs, Lakers, and then we'll go Lakers.
All right, so I shit on the Cavs fans, but you redeemed it by getting the rematch of LeBron versus the Cavs.
Yeah, well, we got to show respect to one of the historic net ratings, right? That's the be-all, end-all.
So you think that so you're going Rockets, Lakers, Nuggets, Thunder, Nuggets over Thunder.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And you think the Celtics are going to beat the Knicks, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not even remotely scared of the Knicks. I was listening to Legler's podcast, and he was like, yeah, some of my media friends are putting Brunson on first team All-NBA. Dude, Brunson isn't even third team, buddy. Not this year.
The most disrespectful conversation of the season is how people just automatically put Brunson over Halliburton. It's offensive.
Dude, it's nuts.
It's crazy. Like,
it's uncouth.
It's not good. And Bill left Halliburton off his third team.
Yeah, Bill was kind of cooking with those awards for a little while. Like Lou Dort, Defensive Player of the Year, I can get behind that. Daigneault as the I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Him as the Coach of the Year. I like that. But then he got to the All NBA.
Zubac? Come on. He's like, I want a big man. I want Zubac over Halliburton. It's like, come on, bro.
People are talking about Anthony Edwards as a first team or a second team guy. Folks, the Minnesota Timberwolves were 4 points per 100 possessions better when he was off the floor. We can't get too out of pocket with this stuff just because we're excited. When it comes to the cost of a guy like Halliburton not even making All-NBA, we can't do it.
Yeah, well, my defensive player of the year is Chris Dunn.
Nice. But he can't. He doesn't qualify. He didn't play enough games of 20 minutes.
Damn. All right, well, then, Wembanyama.
Did you pick a champ?
Lakers, bro.
Okay.
We're picking with our hearts and our minds tonight.
Yeah.
Why isn't Amen Thompson on the first team all defense? What did I miss?
I think he should be, right?
Why? But they weren't even talking about it on the podcast today. They're like, "Oh no, maybe second team." It's like, why?
I don't know. I don't know what these guys look at when they decide that.
He's fifth in the NBA in defensive BPM.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm looking at this list. Hold on a second. I love Zubac, but come on.
Yeah. Well, look, Draymond Green and Zubac both had PR campaigns behind their Defensive Player of the Year candidacies starting a few weeks ago, and it worked because nobody knows what to base their vote on for that.
Exactly. Defensive Player of the Year is the easiest one. Just be like, I tried the hardest. Come on, give it to me.
Right.
You can't measure this. Just trust me.
All right, let's move on to this question from Jake Sports World. He has a few things to say about like who do we think is going to win? What do you think about Cleveland? We talked about that, so I'm going to skip over that. But then he has a different question, which is who do you feel like is deserving of more hobby love in the NBA media right now? Because my Cavs players don't really get much hobby love, and that's okay because it keeps the prices of them low. So who do you feel like is deserving of more hobby love in the NBA right now?
Well, I already said it. The spoiler alert: Tyrese Halliburton. I don't understand why he's not more liked. He's fun to watch. I like his style. He's like a long distance shooter. He passes. I just don't understand why people don't like him more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does it puppy love and I'm just not noticing it.
No, I like that. That's a good choice. I don't know. The prices are like a lot of cards are just high. You know, like maybe one's a little bit higher than the other, but I can't think of like you just talked about Aldama. I once looked at some of his cards. I mean, he's like a rotation player for the Grizzlies. He has multiple cards that have sold for like $3,000.
Yeah.
You know, like how can you say? You know, I mean, Halliburton, like I don't know what his Prism Black from his non-rookie years, like $4,000 or $5,000 range. I mean,
maybe like Jared Allen.
I like
See what he's got.
Jared Allen. I like Jalen Duren. There's like this group of players that are super efficient bigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His Jared Allen's Black Prism sold in 2022 for about $6,000.
Not mad at that. What do you think that would sell for today?
I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah. I think that would be like 10 or 15 today, probably.
I'm looking through the list of other guys maybe that I'm missing. That might be undervalued. I mean, the Cavs definitely are slept on. I myself am just like writing them off, so I get it.
Yeah. Istanbul says, are Tatum cards expensive?
Yes, very.
Yep.
Does it ever surprise you to look at the prices of like Tatum's not mid, but like mid basketball players versus like high-end football players, and it's like the basketball players are worth a lot more?
I definitely notice it.
Yeah.
I definitely notice it. So, here. I don't want to switch my screen around. But a card that, like, to give you an idea of Tatum's market, Tatum's 2017 Select Gold Concourse PSA 10 was privately reported to us, and I verified it. It was reported by a card shop. What do you think that sold for?
2017 Concourse Rookie PSA 10 Gold.
Yep.
Maybe like $20,000.
Nailed it. $22,000.
Really?
Yep.
That's a lot for a Select Gold, man.
It's a lot. Exactly.
That kind
Tatum's
of
not.
feels like Luka's price range, right?
I think so. Yeah. That's not cheap.
Because I kind of feel like that's what you guys were paying ish around there for some of that Luka Gold stuff that wasn't Prism.
Yeah. I think like you sort of have pricing tiers. I think Edwards, Tatum, SGA are all sort of in a tier.
Yeah.
Luka's more expensive than those guys, but they're all expensive.
His BGF 9.5 Gold Tatum sold in March of this year for $85,000.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah. That ain't cheap.
That ain't cheap for the Finals MVP runner-up.
Okay, good. Well, that okay. No, let's go to this one. All right, so the Card Father 13 says, which player matchups excite you most that you might see in the playoffs this year?
Jokic Zubac?
Yeah, that's the whole thing is like Zubac like holds Jokic to only 54%.
Well, because like I think Zubac is getting like first team all NBA defensive stuff, and Jokic is just gonna destroy him anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, I like. You don't have to say this one. I'll say it for you. I got your two guys in there. I think the Luca Ant is gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Luca Ant? Okay.
Yeah, Luca versus Ant, because I feel like they're trying to make this like this Ant versus Lakers or Ant versus LeBron, and I just for some reason I feel like the Luca Ant thing is getting passed by as what happened last year, and like Ant's got to take down Luca, not LeBron, in my opinion.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what happens when you lose 4-1 and you're on an oxygen tank.
You're just like you have like a list of things you're just ready to fire off. There's your
That's a good one. God, I mean, Curry Butler Warriors versus Luca LeBron Lakers is a pretty good one too.
Curry, Amen Thompson.
Well, sorry, what was that?
Curry, Amen Thompson.
Yeah, that's a good one. Curry Bronny.
Bronny had a terrible final game of the season. He came flying back to earth.
I think a second round matchup of Jokic SGA is good. The MVP winner, MVP runner up.
Yeah, I know. Wait, who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think should win MVP? I haven't. I couldn't figure it out based on your tweets.
SGA is going to win. I mean,
I don't agree.
It was close for a little while, but now the public ballots are 22-11 in SGA's favor. So, yeah, they've been coming in and like Rachel Nichols and all the TV guys, and
all the doofuses. Well, I guess this may be a positive for what I listen to, but everyone I listen to has said they voted for Jokic, so yeah. I don't know what that means.
That's why I wanted to chronicle all that, because he's going to lose. So like there's just the thing is that the Jokic voters are very outspoken, because the outspoken people are people who really think hard about their ballots, and when they put all that work in, they want to talk about it, and they write columns and stuff. So like they're disproportionately represented in the public tracker.
Yeah.
The quiet voters, the guys who aren't going to explain their vote, the Kendrick Perkins vote where he just puts one name, he has no explanation, no rationale, he's just trying to pick the right answer. All those people are going Shea because the betting odds were strong Shea. TV was telling him to vote Shea.
Yeah.
So it's going to be even more lopsided than the tracker says. And Shea's at 22, so he only needs 29 more first place votes to have the majority. I can look at the list. I can tell you 40 more people who are going to vote for him first.
I can just picture Rachel Nichols on Colin Cowherd's show being like, you know what, winning matters, and I can't overlook defeating.
Yeah.
And they explained to her like on off and stuff. She's like, that doesn't no. Right.
Well, here's another take for you. Whoever, if it is like a young or whoever wins Finals MVP this year, I think they're going to be like way out in front to be the regular season MVP next year, whoever it is. So if it's Luka or if it's Ant, it's not going to be Ant, or if it's
you couldn't even get through that sentence without giggling.
If it's Tatum, if it's Jokic, like there was almost nothing Jokic could do to lose the MVP in 2023-24 after he won the Finals MVP the year prior, and they gave it to him.
He literally had like the second best season or whatever of all time, and he's not going to win the MVP.
Right. Yeah. So like, that I think like there's a lot on the line for whoever wins Finals MVP this year.
And he also played into the stats of all the dum-dums who just see points, rebounds, and assists, and he was top 3 in all 3. Quietly averaging triple-double, which isn't cool anymore because of Russell Westbrook, but like...
Yeah, he finally did what they wanted him to do.
Exactly. He hit the 3 dum-dum stats, and he still is not good enough.
Also, like, one of the stats that isn't talked about as much, he finished second in steals, too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to give you credit for this, but guess who's second in the NBA in defensive box plus minus?
Oh, you don't have to put that up to a guess.
And the only guy above him plays like 10 minutes a game.
Yeah. All right. I guess we can, like, for player matchups too, like Cade Cunningham, Brunson, and Cat. I'm throwing in Cat, and I'm throwing in Duren too, because like those are two, like Cat and Duren are big parts of the success of their teams. They never get mentioned.
Yeah.
How about Paolo versus Tatum? That's like your dream matchup.
I was just about to say I want no part of that series. I won't be watching any of that series. I couldn't care less about the Magic are the most painful team to watch, in my opinion. I can't watch them. They're so bad.
Yeah. Their offense is so bad.
I think the Grizzlies would just like sweep the Magic.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Orlando is I think they might like split those first two in Boston, especially because Boston loves to choke one of their first two home games, and it's gonna get
They always lose the first game, don't they?
yeah, it's gonna get spicy for a few days.
No, no, they won't. They suck. They rely on Cole Anthony to like score all their points. They suck.
Yeah. Giannis Halliburton is a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Siakam, Siakam was part of that Raptors wall that slowed down Giannis 5 or 6 years ago or whatever.
Whatever happened to that wall? That doesn't work anymore.
That wall?
The media stopped saying it, and then it's gone. Stephen A. was
Tyler Hero versus Donovan Mitchell. Does that one get you going?
Tyler Hero's pretty good, man.
Dude, he cooked in those playing games. I was impressed by him and Trae Young. I hadn't watched them in a while.
Yeah, I like Hero. I hadn't watched him much this year, and he's good.
Yeah, he ain't bad. Yeah, I guess like a Giannis Tatum rematch in like the conference finals in the East would be cool because Simmons single-handedly pushed Tatum over Giannis on some MVP ballots, and that's one of the more ludicrous things, I think, to come out of this award season.
He ended up voting Giannis ahead of him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and last minute he voted Beasley over Pritchard, and they were like, "You're only doing that because you don't want to be made fun of."
Yeah, dude, Pritchard had like I did my best player on the planet rankings, which takes into consideration win shares per 48, box plus minus, and PER. Pritchard made the top 28.
Yeah. He's good. He can hit those half court shots.
Yeah, he's definitely the heave master.
You ready for the skip? So tomorrow, 10 a.m. Bucks Pacers. I love the first round because the games start so early.
Yeah.
And then we got Clippers Nuggets, Pistons Knicks, Lakers T-Wolves. Can you even possibly sketch out a better start?
Oh man. Hey, let me tell you really fast. I'm just gonna run through the 28 players who made it. Okay, and you say if any names are interesting to you from 28th to 1st.
Who made what?
Gobert. These are my best player on the planet rankings, averaging their 3 rate statistics from Basketball Reference.
Why 28?
Because in order to get on the list, you had to finish top 20 in one of the 3.
Got it.
And 28
I'm ready.
guys totaled it. So from 28 to 1, Gobert, Pritchard, Garland, Harden, Edwards, Hartenstein, Wemby, Thompson, Amon Thompson, Jalen Williams, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Duren. Holy shit, all the Jalens were together. Sengun, Zubats, Lillard, LeBron, Curry, Tatum, Towns, Mobley, Luka, Jared Allen, Sabonis, Halliburton, Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler, Giannis, SGA, Jokic.
I'm just never going to get over this Jared Allen's top 10 player thing that gets squeezed out from advanced analytics just because he only dunks.
Right, yeah.
Okay, can I explain it to you with a really good example?
Sure.
You had Anthony Davis above Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
And that trade literally happened, and it's the worst trade of all time.
Yeah.
And the reason is that Luka is the one who sets everybody up. He's the one running the show. He's the one who controls the game. He has the ball more, whereas Anthony Davis is dependent on other players. So, in a vacuum, Anthony Davis is more efficient this season. But, when you're building a team, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And Luka just had a down year too. So, like,
Well, Jared Allen's the only one where I'm like, seriously?
yeah, I know he's there, man. He's the highest ranking Cavaliers player.
He is like the perfect player for the role that he's filling. Would you say that is fair?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Like basically, if the Lakers got Jared Allen, they would just steamroll through the playoffs.
Can we make that happen, or?
I would settle for freaking Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, we definitely need to make that
He's
happen.
He played like 12 minutes tonight. They don't even care about him. We'll take him.
Dude, he's hated Gafford forever.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, and Gafford's just awesome. All right, let's go on to this question from Spirit of Cardboard. How dirty does it feel to root for the Lakers?
Oh, it's terrible. I've had to deal with this for 6 years.
Why?
I've always hated the team.
Why do you hate it?
Because like I grew up in Phoenix. Like you're supposed to hate the Lakers. Kobe, I've always hated the Lakers.
There's Kobe. Somebody had the Kobe timer on about 45 minutes in.
But this is the new world we live in. We root for players, and my favorite players in the Lakers, your favorite players in the Lakers. This is the hand we're dealt.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care that much, honestly.
If you could pick a team, a random city and team, was there anything like freaking Brooklyn or something? The Detroit, Luka LeBron Detroit team? Does that do it for you?
No. I would like
Doesn't
that
matter.
less.
Doesn't even matter.
I like that they're on a big, fancy, important team.
A big, fancy, important team. Did you see the thing about Luka throwing his phone?
Yeah.
He's still using that phone apparently today.
Yeah, that adds up. What's the longest you've ever gone with a cracked phone before you swapped it out?
I've never cracked a phone,
Okay, that's pretty good.
but if I did, it would be like 2 days. I couldn't
Yeah.
stand it.
But he's been working that cracked phone for like 2 months.
He's busy balling, bro.
Yeah. Maybe he just doesn't talk to anybody, too.
Was that a burn? Was that like a bid?
Yeah, I guess.
He just like
He
has
has no friends.
like a speed dial of his like Jenny Craig rap or something.
Yeah. I have a zag about that broken phone.
That it's fake. He didn't actually do it.
No, I think he did it. I just think like, the narrative is like, oh, he was so sad that he got traded. But now like it kind of bubbles up like, no, actually he was mad and he threw his phone. And he was mad because there was like a power struggle in that organization and they played the trump card and traded him and he was like pissed about it.
Yeah. How much were you enjoying the ESPN cameras showing Nico Harrison more than any other person?
Dude, Nico Harrison moved from the enemy bucket to the sympathy bucket like
No. He
months
didn't. No way.
ago.
No.
I've felt bad for him ever since he just got destroyed like the day after the trade. Dude, like his life fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money you could pay me if in exchange, everywhere I go in public, people hate me and like yell at me and say how stupid I am. Oh,
I just love it. All the podcasts that are like going through. I heard one. It might have been Bill, but it might have been a different pod where they were like analyzing the financial loss of the Mavericks organization after the trade. It's just like they're just piling on with all this stuff,
Yeah.
It's like they lost
Like,
$2 billion valuation of the team basically right when the trade happened.
dude, those guys are living in hell right now, and they're not making it any better. Obviously, they just keep digging in deeper,
But like,
at some level, like the compassion kicks in on a human level. It's like, dude, this guy's life sucks. This guy like thought he was just hot shit and he was the greatest GM and like he was making all these moves. He did the Kyrie trade, he got Washington, he got Gafford, and he went to the finals. And then he thought he like made the greatest move ever, and then everyone's like, oh, sorry, bro, you are the biggest idiot in GM history. You made the stupidest trade in NBA history, and like an entire city hates you. That's brutal.
I guess.
It's wrong.
I mean, there's a reason everyone's saying that because it's true. It's the
Yeah,
worst
I
trade
know.
ever.
You got cooked. All
Yeah.
right.
And they're like, oh, he was like Kobe's favorite, of course.
Yeah. Well, of course that. Yeah. Okay. We have two Anthony Edwards questions. We have K&K Sports Cards who says, "Have you seen the historic Ant-Man 3-point stats for this season?" Okay, so those stats are
He
because
had a good
he
percentage.
DM'd them to me. Well, it just says by age 24, and Ant has been in the league for 5 years, and Curry had only been in the league for 3. Curry had 372 made 3-pointers, and Edwards has 1,109.
I mean, 40% is solid. He shoots 36 for his career, and he shot 40 this year.
40 is really solid.
Yeah. As much as you make fun of Tatum for not improving the last 3 years, you got to give it to Ant for improving this year.
I do. He made my list. This is the first time he's ever made it on the best player on the planet rankings. 24.
Yeah. He improved this year. He had a really good year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's being
going
treated
along.
like he's top 5.
Right. I mean, I think he's behind the curve in terms of how good he's supposed to be, according to the media. Like, in your age 24 season, if you're, top 25-ish, like, I don't see a path to you ever being the best player in the league. But
I can't wait for tomorrow. I can't wait. Just hyper sleep me until tomorrow.
I know. Okay, so do you have any? So yeah, I mean, we recognize those 3-pointers. I think if you guys are hoping that he's going to pass Curry in most 3-pointers made, I wouldn't go there.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
Curry had like 10 less threes than him this year. And he's 37.
Schmo 50 2.0 is the other Anthony Edwards question. As Anthony Edward harsh critiques and Lakers super fans.
See, we're not Lakers super fans.
And we're not critiques either.
I have a critic for that question.
How devastating would it be for you guys if the Lakers lost to the Timberwolves in round 1?
I would be so devastated. I mean, of course, I'd be pissed.
You'd be scraping me off the ground.
Because you would melt?
I'd take a plunge off of this roof.
For some reason, just the mental picture of you plunging out the roof never gets old. I think 'cause I always think back to being next to the Dallas Arena, just like
I would go back there just to do it.
because you could like see the top of the arena from your guys' vantage point. I'm just picturing. Oh no, he's jumping. Is that Nico? Nope, it's not. It's Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if the Nuggets and the Lakers lost in the first round?
Oh man, I mean, well, I guess the pressure would be off. Like, I could just really coast and watch like that. So then, when that happens, I shift into 100% hater mode.
I was gonna say now it's just anti-Tatum mode, just all in.
Yeah. So like at that point, I just pick the team that everybody likes the least, that nobody wants to win, and I just get behind
That's pretty much what I do all the time, anyways. It's just I happen to also root for LeBron.
them. So yeah, at that point, like if my dreams have been crushed, everybody else's should be too.
At least you have 2 teams. I only have 1 team to root for.
Yeah, I've got my risk spread out pretty nicely. It would be even better if one was in the East.
Yep. Maybe
But
we should just like adopt a team together from the East.
last year for me was the Pacers for
Yeah.
sure. And when Butler was out East, I loved rooting for Miami.
Dude, the last playoff basketball game that I went to was a Pacer game.
That might be a sign.
Don't at me.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a Pistons fan though. Just wait.
You're taking the Pistons? All right.
I might be a Pistons guy
Did you like
and Grizzlies.
Kate Cunningham's quotes that came out?
I didn't see him. What did he say?
He said something like, "There's not many better than me. Like you saw our turnaround. I did. This is why."
That shit only works for Ant. Nice try, Cade. Dummy. Doesn't he know? Only Ant's allowed to think he's better than everybody at billiards or whatever. Bill always says that. He thinks he's better than him at ping pong.
All right. Here's another question from HAM Cards 94. If Jaylen Brown wins Finals MVP this year, which is a great start, by the way.
What a cruel universe.
But I should also let you know that is not going to happen because all of the Boston media people have been setting the table for the whole year. Tatum, he made such a leap this season. It's clearly his team now. There's no chance he would lose Finals MVP now. I mean, his statistical profile is virtually identical to what it was last year. He didn't make any leap at all, and the team got worse. But anyway, okay. So just to let this guy know, they're not going to let Jaylen Brown win. But if Jaylen Brown wins Finals MVP this year, which we'll give him 2, would you rank him above Steve Nash in your all-time rankings? And then there's a follow-up, which is when comparing regular season MVPs to Finals MVPs, should Finals MVP carry more weight? So the idea here is that would give Jaylen Brown 2 MVPs, Steve Nash has 2, but Brown's would be Finals and Nash would be regular season. Well, how about this? Kawhi has 2 Finals MVPs. How do you rank him to Nash? So, but do you think Finals MVP is more important than regular season?
No.
No.
Nope. I mean, I think players should strive more for the Finals MVP. It's the purpose. It's the whole point of this whole thing is to win the championship. And so to win the championship and be the best player on that team should be everyone's goal. But I think winning the regular season MVP is harder to do.
Yep, I completely agree. But I weight them equally. I don't want to split hairs. Like if we really wanted to get into it, we could, some MVPs are much more difficult to win than others.
Yeah.
There's some Finals MVPs who carried their team, and there's other Finals MVPs who are just 4 different guys could have won it, and they just picked one.
Dude, Andre Iguodala has a Finals MVP. That dude has never sniffed an All-NBA team.
Right, exactly. All right, from Sweat47, current or retired, who is the best player to never win an MVP?
The best player to never win MVP?
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
Yeah. Well, sparing me the work of having to look it up, Jeremy Lee replied to this story by giving his own list. Some of the names he gave were John Stockton, Vince Carter, Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller, Chris Mullin, Anthony Hardaway. And those are all good choices. I have a different choice. Granted, I didn't really look into this, Mark. Sorry, before we started. But how about Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler tied for 4th this year in the analytics aggregator. He was 3rd 2 years before that. He was 4th 3 years before that. I mean, this guy, and then he was 4th, before that. 4 of the 5 seasons in the 2020s, this guy's been a top 5 player per the analytics. So I like that. IRL card says Barkley won MVP. He didn't win MVP. I didn't read the full question. The other part of the question was, who's the greatest player to never win a title? So I think Jeremy was replying to the who didn't win a title part. So my answer to that is Jimmy Butler. But yeah, you guys are right. Charles Barkley definitely won an MVP over MJ. All right, while we wait for Josh to return, I'm going to go to another question. This one from Fan Tomas 4 Cards, who says, which active player can still beat Michael Jordan's rings record? So Jordan has 6 championships. I don't know if that's really the mark. I mean, Bill Russell has 11, I think. Robert Horry has 7. I mean, there's other guys who have more than MJ right now. So MJ doesn't really have a rings record to speak of. The record that MJ does have is the 5 Finals MVPs, and I don't think there's anybody realistically that you could think would get 5 Finals MVPs except for LeBron. So there is the answer. But like, if the question is like takes away the record aspect and just who in the league right now could get to 6 championships, just be a part of 6 championship teams, Curry and LeBron are both 2 away from that. Otherwise, I don't know, man. There's a lot of parity in this league.
Dude, so much parity. It's like 6 straight champions, right?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Unique champions, sorry.
Yeah. This one from the card collector girl. She says, please discuss how rings don't matter in the GOAT conversation. Do you agree with that?
They definitely matter because you need Finals MVPs to be in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah.
They matter less than the media would tell you, but yeah, they matter.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the rings don't matter, but Finals MVPs matter to me. And Finals MVPs, that if you win a Finals MVP, you almost certainly won a ring. But yeah, the rings themselves, I mean, if that mattered, then Robert Horry is your GOAT. Okay. All right, anything else you want to say in the NBA? I mean, I'm so pumped for the playoffs. It's crazy.
I just want to go to bed so I can start watching the games. 12 hours, bro. 12 hours.
Yeah. Do you like that the Lakers are the late game, or do you wish it was early?
I need some time. I need some time to like watch other teams, like get my rhythm for the day. I'm okay with it.
What's going to be your panic level if the Lakers do choke tomorrow?
0.
Yeah, same.
Dude, Celtics lose game 1 every time. Every time.
It's going to be fucking 72 hours of brutal podcasting.
Yeah. We'll just fucking avoid it. Yeah, it's brutal. We got to win tomorrow. We got to get off to a good start. I agree. Let's go up 1-0.
I'll just pivot to a Tyler Cowan binge.
There you go. I did not think he would get a shout out today, but here we are.
All right. All right, we're going to pivot now. From the D-Wees.
Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani? Like, oh, God.
Yeah, that's what this is. I need more baseball talk. We know you nerds love stats, and baseball is stat heaven. That's it.
All right. Barry Bonds, you guys. Go look at his stats and tell me he's not the GOAT. That's all. I'm done.
All right. PLB cards. Oh, okay. This one's got a little edge to it.
All right.
I primarily collect vintage baseball. Boo. No, just kidding. And I really enjoy it. And lots of people do. I regularly listen and submit questions to a hobby podcast where the hosts often make offhand comments like Babe Ruth doesn't have any good cards. What does this say about me?
Well, if you're listening to a podcast who say the thing you like isn't good, you're in the right place.
Ooh, God, that's a good zag.
Dude, you gotta surround yourselves with the haters. It makes you better.
Yeah. Okay. So I had a little think about this question for like 30 seconds, and then I came up with kind of a similar answer. I have a zag too.
These cards suck.
Josh is scrolling vintage baseball cards right now.
PLB.
Babe Ruth. It's all Babe Ruth.
PLB is just like punching air right now as I do this.
Here's my zag. It's like what you were saying, but I'm gonna give like a little example to go with it, like because you are a guy who loves the trash talk.
Yeah, I like to keep track of it as well.
And you like to monitor it. Yeah, it's like I've seen you watching like 5-minute clips of fucking Skip Bayless just saying the most ridiculous things about LeBron, and you're just fucking giggling. I think it was at the Mint Collect. One of the Mint collectors caught you fucking watching like Skip just trashing him. I'm like, why the fuck are you watching this? But you just love that.
Yeah.
You love that. That gets you going. And like, it's a good way to be. It's a good, you have like a very, probably from 20 years of LeBron fandom, you developed that. Is that fair?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
People said the craziest shit about him over those 20 years.
Yeah. And so, like, when you're watching Skip, are you just like thinking about how he's clinging on, even though he's just been wrong every step of the way?
He's just said the most insane stuff. It's I don't have like.
I fucking hate when they say, dude, you want to know? I'm like the opposite on this, but maybe I'll get better about this one day. But like, I'm the opposite. Zach Lowe fucking hemmed and hawed and like picked SGA for MVP by the narrowest margin. I'm not going to listen to that guy's fucking podcast for like 6 months.
What? I mean, that's like a different variation of the same
Right.
thing. Like
Right.
you're in the
Yeah.
same hate. You're on the same hate tree. You're just a different branch.
Yeah.
It's like a palm tree, though. We're all at the top, like most with a cluster of leaves at the top.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just not gonna. Is it also because he's on the Ringer now?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, like in this lead up to tomorrow's game, I'm just like seeking out all the dum-dums who say the stuff that I know is gonna be wrong. That's what I look for. I love it.
Yeah. I guess the thing that
I wish
killed me
that
about
they would-
Lowe,
What?
Lowe voted for Embiid too.
Yeah, this is your new thing. This is your favorite thing. You're like,
Oh yeah.
you screwing up this year. I bet you screwed up 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, my thing is more precisely this. I think there was you could make an argument that Embiid deserved to win that MVP, and you could make an argument that Shea deserves to win it this year. Like there are cases to be made for both players, but those MVPs are so different, and the reasons why Embiid won it over Jokic are so different from the reasons why they're giving it to SGA that it's almost logically impossible. It's inconsistent for somebody to have voted for both. Because if you think Embiid should have beaten Jokic, you had to say things like the net rating gap doesn't matter, and you had to say things like the amount of wins don't matter, seeding doesn't matter. I just want to give it to the guy who I think had the best season. Because Jokic was a 1 seed, Embiid was a 3 seed. Jokic won 48 games that he played in, Embiid only won 43 games that he played in. Jokic had a much better net rating. Okay. So like the case for Jokic over Embiid was pretty similar to the case that SGA has over Jokic, where now SGA has a better net rating. SGA has the better, he's won more games, etc. So if you voted Embiid over Jokic, that's fine. But now you have to keep that same model. And if you kept that same model, you probably, I mean, I don't know how everybody voted, but like I was breaking down some of these guys' ballots, like Dan Devine's ballot. And I went back and I read his Embiid when I read his SGA one, and it was like 2 completely different criteria. This guy was just making shit up so that he could vote for both guys. So that's my take is like, I understand voting for one or the other in both cases. But if you voted for both, there's a pretty good chance that you're being intellectually dishonest on some level, whether you mean to or not.
Yeah, see, this is your variation. You're seeking out content of people that are hating on just pure Jokic. It's just pure Jokic hate. That's what they're doing. And you're just seeking it out. You're like, let me go find these guys and plaster it all over X.
And those tweets get some love too. Those are like my bangers. When like I'll just see like Rachel Nichols and Chris Mannix like voted SGA, and I'll just be like, here's their voting records.
Yeah, that one showed up like in the actual like reply of it.
Yeah, Elon pumped that one up.
No, that one's just all pure organic traffic.
Yeah. All right. From Drake PC.
You know why it's organic and good traffic? Because no one else posts stuff like that. They just post the like, oh, I think SGA was on the better team and he played harder. It's like the same garbage over and over.
Right.
You're like, here's the stats. This guy voted for the. It's like, oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. All right. We'll sneak a few more in here before we get our beauty sleep before the big games tomorrow. Drake's PC says, we all have examples where we have passed on a card because we felt like the price was too inflated. For each of you, what is a card that you passed on because you felt it was too expensive, and later you wish you had just bought it at that price because it actually never got any cheaper?
Oh, the LeBron logo man auto rookie. Stupid. I should have sold my
that's like
house, bro.
That's your I don't know. That's your one that got away.
Let me look up the price again. 1 second. Wasn't it like 300 grand or something?
Yeah, I think 312,000 in 2016.
God,
Yeah.
it's so painful.
Yeah.
That's the one. 312 grand.
Yep. Yeah,
That,
that sucks.
that would have been the most irresponsible thing I've ever done in my life, but it would have been the smartest thing ever in my life. What does that say about it?
It's funny when those things go together.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah. I don't know,
Yeah,
man. It's everything. How about it? Just feels like anything pre 2021 can almost fit into this. But that's the trick. I don't know what. Maybe like we were doing a show with Brad, or it was on the crossover or something. But you made the point that like the last 4-ish years are very different than the 4 years before it.
Right.
Where like it was patience. It was the idea of patience and being patient from like 2016 to 2020 was not wise in retrospect, but being patient from 2021 to 2025 was.
Do you remember that though? Like no matter what we bought or what anyone bought, it was like, no, this thing's going up. It doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah, it was incredible. And then we lost it because of the fucking froth monsters.
And then everyone got too greedy and squeezed it out too fast.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's always what happens, dude. That's what that graph is, remember?
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Human psychology. Dum-dums.
Exactly.
What's that graph called? Hype? Hype graph?
It's something like the psychology of a bubble or something.
There we go. Hype cycle for emerging tech. NFTs at the very peak.
Yeah, there you go. Stages in a bubble, that's what it is.
But this graph's pretty funny. Look at this.
Yeah. There it is. Oh, they actually have an NFT on it.
Yeah. It's like the example of like when it's reaching Web3. Remember that? Whatever happened to Web3, you guys?
Whatever happened to the metaverse?
The metaverse? It's toast. It looks
Used to have its
like
time. Maybe.
Nintendo Wii.
Yeah. All right.
Remember that guy bought a yacht in the metaverse? Do you remember that?
Yeah. And people fucking bought a pet rock for like $5 million.
Yeah, and people bought a Cheeto for 80 grand.
Yeah. You know, yeah, the Cheeto thing. I don't even, let's just not. I'm looking for some other questions to tackle here. It is a quick one from Bron Reeves PC. He just wants to know, will auction houses ever show feedback on bidders?
The problem is that you have to like have done that from the beginning. So you can't like retroactively go back and collect that information. That's the problem. And most are not going to want to like start that today.
Yeah. Yeah. And also like there's no feedback, right? There's like successful transactions.
Do you still do the eBay thing where you get the notifications like, hey, you've got 4 purchases you haven't left feedback on. Do that now. And you're like,
yeah.
Fat shipping A+, leave me alone.
Yeah. I graduate to the point where I just put A+.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Would be nice though. Wouldn't hurt if we could see that like the top bidder on a card had 0 successful transactions with auction house versus like 30 or 100 or something.
I think it should be if the transaction was complete and everything went through, it's just, it's nothing. It just is a plus. The only time you have to actually say something is when something bad happened.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Because the standard should be, you shipped the card and I got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. From fan Tomas for Cards, why do you believe that the Contenders rookie card is not as popular in basketball as it is in football?
That's a good question. Do you think it's a burden?
Yeah. maybe like a lineage thing. Like, there's no equivalent to that flagship Peyton Contenders auto in basketball,
Plus,
and
I
there's no
think,
like Brady. Like the Brady Contenders is such an important card too.
right. Plus, basketball didn't start until later, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely didn't start till later.
Well, the football one, like, it's like a brand of playoff contenders. Like, who even printed this?
Playoff, but like at some point it merges with Don Russ,
Right.
and then I think that's why basketball started in 2009 because Panini acquired playoff Don Russ.
Okay.
Hope that's right without checking.
So, playoff is the name of the company that made the card?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then they merged with Don Russ eventually.
Who then got acquired by Panini?
Exactly. Yep.
There you go. It's the lineage,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, lineage for sure.
I also think the Brady rookie helps it.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big
Like,
time.
I can't even think of like an iconic contenders basketball card,
No. Plus, like the variations, like that is tolerable in football because it's already such a stable brand. But like in basketball, man, those variations just really start to kill it.
Right. It's kind of like how the basketball exquisite is like way more popular than football exquisite. Like, do you even know that there's football exquisite cards?
Right, you never hear about this.
And it's because like the LeBron of it all.
Yeah. Right. Do you have any interest? I have some contenders cards actually. I have two. I have 2022-23 contenders champ ticket Jokic 1 of 1, and I have one of his other champ ticket 1 of 1s too. Just the base card 1 of 1.
And you have the McCaffreys, right? Still have those?
Oh, duh. Yeah. I have McCaffrey's vertical and his horizontal Super Bowl ticket 1 of 1 autograph.
Yeah. I like contenders. I think they look slick.
Yeah. All right. You want to do more?
Maybe one more.
One more. Okay, let's do. We'll do this one from Cardiac Kemba because he opened it with paying homage to Vinny.
Yeah, these are sick.
Yeah. Okay, so he Cardiac goes, always appreciate the show. Do you ever worry about 1 of 1 dilution in your collection? This concerns me and my current PC because the more 1 of 1s I try to acquire, the less important they appear to be in the aggregate. If you open your collection case and there are 31 of 1s in there, that doesn't feel very special. What other tactics can we use to drill down on 1 of 1s to amplify their significance in your collection? I know you've employed the notion of selecting the first base at 1 of 1 or the only 1 of 1 to appear as a way to understand significance or rarity. Apart from that, and apart from obviously selecting the correct brand, what other ways can we accumulate for how to weed out 1 of 1s that we don't really want?
Doesn't it seem like he's saying that it's diluted because he's looking at his own PC and it's all 1 of 1s and his 1 of 1s don't stand out from his other 1 of 1s?
Yeah. It does sound like that a bit, yeah.
So just compare your PC to everyone else's and you got more 1 of 1s than them.
Or like get some out of 50s or something and then spice it up that way.
This is an interesting thought though of like my PC is maximized to the max and now none of the cards within my PC stand out. It's an interesting thought.
Yeah, it is an interesting thought. And it's like, and then where do you go from there?
Yeah.
I'm going to answer one of his specific points of his question, which is like, how else can we weed out 1 of 1s? Like, oh shit, I'm already on 1 of 1s. Like, what the fuck do I do now?
Right.
What you do now, my friend, is you make a list. So once you've narrowed in all the 1 of 1s, now you need to rank them. And you need to force yourself to say, this is the best 1 of 1, this is the 10th best 1 of 1, this is the 50th best 1 of 1. And then you need to work your way to get the very best 1 of 1s. You need to fucking make the 1 of 1s of the 1 of 1s.
Yeah. Like, how would you rank this one?
Very
versus,
low.
Yeah, versus any of them, but versus this.
Yeah. So you showed like the 2021 Donruss Black Choice Jokic 1-of-1,
Yep.
and then you showed the 2019 Select Courtside Black 1-of-1.
Right.
And so brand is like that's a big deal, obviously. The other Donruss 1-of-1, it's more of like a curation thing. That card by itself like doesn't really do anything, but it's cool just because like I fucking pair it up with the fact that I have his rookie Donruss Black 1-of-1. So I like the pairing of it. But the select too, like the thing that I like about the select blacks is that I'm just trying to get all of them. I'm literally trying to get all of them. Every true black 1-of-1 select of Jokic, I want to get it. So that's like that'll probably never happen. And it's something I can work on for just years and years and years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely rank them, and like once you've like got them to the very best card on paper that you can get, which is like a base at 1-of-1, let's just stipulate to that, then, your subjectivity has to come in, and then you have to decide which 1-of-1s are the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Plus, it's smart to always have your cards ranked so that when something better comes along, you can have already made the decision of what gets chopped off the bottom.
Do you just naturally I bet you don't even have to write down your ranking. You know it. Yeah, you just know it.
Like if something came up right now, I know the 3 cards I would sell. For sure. And then the problem with that is though, once I have that mindset, it's hard to like come back to those 3 cards again,
100%. Once they're in that fucking halfway house, they might as well just go all
the halfway. I like that one, the hobby halfway house.
All right.
I feel like there was a term I was supposed to force into this episode, and I can't remember.
Oh, there totally was, yeah.
Yeah, I'll find it.
You're gonna force you definitely were. You were like gonna fucking. You definitely said something was getting forced in.
Something about Windy and his loads, maybe.
Dude, shout out to Bill Simmons for bringing Brian Windhorst on to do an hour on Luka Doncic when Brian Windhorst is one of his absolute biggest haters, and then Simmons is like, actually, I'm a big Luka guy.
Simmons did a whole bit today about how he still thinks Luka complains too much to the refs, and that bothers him.
Yeah. Well, when they fucking come up with a stat that measures your efficiency of your complaining, then I'll take an interest.
Yeah, and that's when I start Googling videos of Tatum complaining to the refs. Because that happens a lot.
But you did say something about like when players like hang back to complain and like they don't run back, like that is bad.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Go through the titles.
The titles, damn, I can't find it either. Fuck. We didn't have very many. So first one is the worst bet I ever heard of. Second one is I've always hated the Lakers. Pretty good. I like that. I think that's on point.
That's good. That's very topical for tomorrow.
Yeah. Next one is panic level 0.
What's your panic level if they lose tomorrow?
Dude, this is like probably more of a character flaw than asset of mine, but my confidence is just insane. The Lakers could be down 0-3 and I'll be fucking DMing just like, dude, we got this.
I thought you were going to go the other way with that one where you're like, I'm going to be reading every like forum ever about how Lakers are screwing this up. They need to change the rotations and this is like panic.
No, like, I've learned to like blend in and just be like mopey and like, oh yeah, my poor team. But dude, in my heart of hearts, my confidence is just insane. It's actually just.
You're going to start posting the, you used to do this. You don't do it anymore. I wish you did. You're going to start posting the expected points thing.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be like, actually, Lakers should have won that game.
The shot quality stuff, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's one thing I'll do, too. I'll let my confirmation bias fully take over, and I'll go find all the evidence that shows that we should have won.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you'll know I'm really in my bag when a shot quality chart shows up on my story.
That's when you're actually like desperate.
When the Mavs were down in the finals last year, 3-1, going back to Boston, I was fucking sure we were going to win.
I remember seeing Nick on TV, trying to will you guys back.
Dude, he did. We won that game.
That's the only game you guys won.
Oh, yeah. So Panic Level Zero is a pretty good title, too, then. And then the last one I wrote down was Hobby Halfway House.
Hobby Halfway House.
That's going to get people clicking on it for the wrong reason.
I can't find it. It was something that you said, and I was like, I'm going to bring this up. This is good.
Yeah, we'll find it right after this is over and be pissed about it.
Harsh critiques.
You also threatened to log off if I read a certain question.
Right. Oh, that's what it was. That's definitely right.
Yeah. All right. That was hilarious. I was laughing so hard about that. Okay, so what name do you want for this show?
One of the two Lakers ones.
Yeah, so the two Lakers ones are I've Always Hated the Lakers versus Panic Level Zero.
I think I've always hated the Lakers is funnier.
Yeah, it's good.
Because it's like really throws people off for what I thought they were rooting for the Lakers.
Right. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of gotchas coming in like, oh, what's going to happen when you lose to the Timberwolves? Oh.
You're down 1-0 in a 7-game series.
What's going to happen when we win? How about that?
Dude, Austin Reeves is going to fucking cook tomorrow. Gabe Vincent. You guys don't know anything about Gabe Vincent yet. Just wait.
Those are huge facts. And then I'm going to say this. If Maxi Kleber comes off the bench tomorrow and hits like 4 threes, you can just fucking ship that trophy.
Is he playing tomorrow? I'm looking this up.
Dude, he cannot be playing tomorrow.
Yo, he's playing. That guy's fucking ready to go. He was firing off those corner threes at practice yesterday.
That's all he needs to do. Just grab them rebounds, fucking punch Gobert a few times, and hit corner threes.
I'm going to be Googling Maxi Kleber defensive rebounding rates tomorrow morning.
Just hit up his highlight reel from that Utah Jazz playoffs.
All right, dude.
That's all you need.
He's officially listed as out for tomorrow. His estimated return date is April 22nd. That would be game 2, my friend.
Oh, he's coming back. He's going to be in this series. That's so crazy.
Yeah, he's playing in game 2, bro.
All right.
Sorry, Trey Jemison. We need a shooter.
Dude, Trey Jemison just got screwed by Maxi Kleber.
It's not the first person that's happened to. All right, we're going with the I've always hated the Lakers.
You have an emoji suggestion?
Like the angry guy with like the smoke coming out?
Oh, that's good. Perfect. I was gonna do a middle finger, but this is a little less vulgar.
Middle finger is pretty good. It's fucking Lakers. It is annoying though that like if we get our way and they win, we're just like, oh, you guys just fucking bandwagon with the Lakers. Bet you're gonna root for the Yankees and Duke or whatever.
That's why I was like, you know what? If I did have a Lakers hoodie, which I don't, I was like, it would be funny if I wore that tonight, just because I was such a baby about not wanting to root for the Lakers.
If you did, I wouldn't know.
I could have passed that off.
You could have a full head of hair right now, for all I know.
What if you just like went and looked at the thumbnail and that's what it was?
That would be
just
awesome.
Me with just a bowl cut, rocking a Lakers jersey.
Just wait. Let me guess what you're wearing. No homo. I feel like you went with a Nuggets hoodie tonight.
I did not. I went with one of my new hoodies. I just have this like blue Under Armour hoodie.
Lake Geneva hoodie.
Yeah. That's like I have like 5 pieces of clothing.
Yeah, that's the best part about your life. That's like, I have a 1 in 5 shot of guessing your outfit at any given time.
Alright. We will see you guys probably never, maybe?
Hopefully.
See you guys.
CY Card Ladder is the most respected sports card analytics app on the market. We have virtually every card in our system. If the card you are looking for ever sold on one of these platforms, you can find it using Card Ladder's sales history. Easily find recent comps and get a better estimate what your cards are worth. CY Card Ladder is the most trusted and the most reliable sports card analytics app on the market. We know what you want because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors. Join the innovators, not the imitators. Card Ladder, constantly innovating.